Hi guys, hello and welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So today, Mel, we've got something very special for these lovely folks.
We have.
Okay, so just a little bit of a backstory. I love the Universal Monsters. Okay, all your traditional Dracula, Frankenstein. And just before we start here, guys, I just want to show these. I'm doing a little bit of adjusting, showing stuff,
yeah.
okay? Yeah, so we've got Dracula, what's this? Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and finally, the Invisible Man. Okay, so why do I show them, Mel?
Because of the board game this month.
Which is the Universal Monsters Horrified, and it is by Ravensburger. Okay, so before we start, guys, anybody who's played or seen the, it's an old one now, Pandemic review.
Yeah.
Okay, if you think Pandemic, for you gamers out there, this is basically Pandemic with movie monsters,
Yeah.
or more importantly, Universal movie monsters. Okay, so I'll give you a quick look at the box, guys, and as you can see, it's heavily themed there with all our lovely movies. And I don't know what you think, but I think that the original ones are a charm.
They have, yeah.
I'm a massive fan of the Gary Oldman Dracula movie from, I think, the early 90s, but it's nowhere near as good as the original, or even Nosferatu before that,
Yeah.
or the Phantom of the Opera, or any of them. I love the old movies. Okay, guys, so there we go. That is Horrified. The stakes have been raised. Horrified, Universal Monsters, 1 to 5 players. 1. Encourages solo play. I've done a video, a feature a couple of months ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
On solo play and the reasons why. Go back, have a look at that if you are remotely curious. Okay, so the back of the box, guys, is absolutely lovely. This was a Christmas gift, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
Okay, so let's just set the scene. A city screams in terror. A cooperative game against the world's most famous monsters. The village is under attack. Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein's monster, his bride, hence what I wanted to show the DVDs for, and more are on the rampage. And your team of heroes must defeat them. Each monster offers an entirely unique challenge, and players can adjust the difficulty by playing against a new group of adversaries every game. Overcome them all before the horror overwhelms you. So, see the board? See what I mean about Pandemic?
Yeah, fab.
Okay, just again proving that point there, guys. So it's just a case like where you go along and you move about, and you have got to hunt these monsters down. So I think the basic idea is, like, say if you face Dracula, there are places on the board that have his coffins, and what you do is you go around all these different locations shown on the board here, all the different places and stuff, yeah? You go around them, and as one of your actions, again, think Pandemic where you can have like 4 or 5 actions per person.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a character that has so many actions, and one of those actions are, as soon as you land in a place, say the village, you can collect these little tokens. I think they're red, blue, and yellow, if memory serves me right. And what you do is so many of these tokens, so you might go to like Dracula's cave, and you might need to surrender, say, 6 tokens to break one of his coffins. You break about 4 or 5 of his coffins, then you go find the man himself, do the same thing, and you've defeated Dracula.
Oh, cool.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon, anyone who's seen it or not or whatever, but anyway, you've got to go around like the lagoon and try and hunt him.
Okay.
The Invisible Man is a really good one. He has, hang on, no, sorry, not the Invisible Man, the Mummy. And you go round and there's like a little bit, you've got a game card and you've got like little parts of a tablet. And you like your puzzles, don't you?
Yeah.
So what you got to do is I think you surrender like a couple of tokens to give you a chance to move the puzzle. So once you get them right, then you defeat like the Mummy and so on and so forth.
Cool.
Okay, so that's basically what we're doing, guys. So all based heavily on the original monsters. Okay, I actually thought I'd open that off camera. Dave the Reptile Man getting traumatised again. Okay. There we go. Now it's all they were beforehand. Yeah. What I've done is like the 4 corners of the box, and I'd sliced the first 2, and I didn't see the other 2 because I didn't have these on, did I? Okay. I thought it's a nice big writing on the back of the box. I'm not going to need my specs today. Okay, so opening this, guys, like I say, never opened before, so you guys are, eyes up, Melody! As blind as I am, so nothing on the inside of the box there. Okay. There we go, just a little flash of the box there. Okay, what does this say here? Right, okay, so we get this out here. We feel it would be a little unkind to present this game without just a word of friendly warning. You are about to unfold one of the strangest tales ever told. We think it will thrill you, it may shock you, it might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now's your chance well, we warned you. Okay, so there we go. So I'm presuming that this is our board. Okay, yes it is the board. There we go. And I'm having all kinds of fun trying to unfold a very simple board. Okay, and that is lovely, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
It looks even nicer than what it does on the box. Okay, so there we go. So you see a series of numbers across the top. I'll explain them in a minute. And you can see various locations, okay, scattered around. And you see how colourful they are. They're absolutely lovely, aren't they? Yeah?
Yeah.
Really, really nice board.
Really nice.
Yeah. Okay, so the numbers across the top, you've actually got yet another problem in here because you're trying to go around the game world solving the mysteries of the monsters to get rid of them out of the village. However, you've got villagers, and villagers just walking around begging to be bitten, attacked by said monster. If that happens, or if you lose your energy and you end up going to hospital, you don't die, you just go to hospital, you come back. But the thing is that little set of numbers, that goes up. So when you get to the end, the game's over. So you basically, you're on like a timer anyway, okay? So we've got the Horrified booklet, which I will go back to like I always do, and then I'm going to hand over all these cardboard tokens. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm actually slicing them while we're talking because we have got several of these, and I actually want to show you as many of them as we can, okay? Plus I'll probably end up popping this and playing it tonight anyway. Okay, so if you could show all the different sides for me, please. So folks, just out of the way. Okay, so remember I told you about the tokens that you collect? Yeah?
It's the same on the other side, I think.
Yeah, that's just double-sided, yeah? That is they. Okay, so they'll be placed around at various locations, and the game itself runs like what's called an automa. Okay, so you know what an automa is, don't you? It's a game run itself against you.
Yeah.
So you'll draw a card every turn for the monster's turn, and it'll tell you to either respawn those or respawn the monster or do what you're doing. Now these are the actual character cards of the characters that you are playing. Okay? Oh my word, they're better than what I thought. I'll go into that in a minute. Okay, so what you do is you have like, you have a base, which you'll, in fact I'll tell you what, I'll show you them now. You have like a little coloured base, yeah, where you pin your, say the courier, for instance here, okay? So he's in pink, you get a pink base, we pin it on there, and that indicates our player to move around the board, okay? These other little ones you can see, they are the various villagers. Now what is really good is if you are a fan of the Universal movies, okay, some of these characters are actually named after Universal here characters. So for instance, in the hospital you find Renfield. Renfield was like Dracula's little minion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And round and about, so there's different people there. So it's all just really, it's a love letter. It's pandemic stroke love letter to Universal Monsters.
Cool.
I can't wait to play this, to be fair. I really can't. Yeah, okay, so thank you for that. Okay, we've got some dice. These have got basic symbols, like star, I think, for a hit, and things like that. Very, very basic stuff, folks. You're going to roll off like what the monster does. You're going to roll off what you do, okay? We have a nice little touch.
Oh, that's nice,
is a bag, yeah.
A bag.
Always welcome, always. And they are obviously for the little tokens to go into. We have a deck of cards, which I'm going to open and just let you show a few. Okay. He says, I hate opening cards with these blinking knives. You know, there's got to be an easier way. I've got someone screaming at me now, just pull a little tab and they open. Nah, they don't. Okay. Yeah, just give a little flavour of just a few of them on there for me, please. Just to give the folks the idea of what's going on there.
The Insane Survivor.
Yeah, so as you can see there, the artwork again, it's just, it's fab. It is really brilliant. It's such a thematic game, you know. As you can see there. So we get the cards, and as I say, there's some cards there that are like for villagers. There's some cards that are like events that happen. Can I just take that one off you for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so as an example there, sunrise, it says place Dracula in his crypt. Now also, you can see across the bottom in white, there's like a little set of icons. Each one of those icons represents a monster. So what you do is when you draw the Otama card out, you have a look. So say if you've got like the Invisible Man, you'd move him. If you haven't, you go on to Frankenstein. If you haven't, you go on to the person who's got the flame token. Okay? So that's basically how it tells us to move our characters across.
Retreat.
Okay?
Type.
We'll have some real fun in a minute.
Hunter becomes prey. So these are things like you move spaces.
Yep. Okay, is that enough of those, yeah? Want to show one more?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to show Mel, let Mel show you the actual character cards now. So if you're
wow.
Impressive, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the whole card tells you just how you run Dracula.
That is amazing. That.
And you've got the details on the back of where you set the monsters up. So again, guys, just look at the art. I'm just totally in love with it. I really am. Okay, I'll leave that one and that one to last. Okay. So the Wolfman is, if you notice, there's some little jars. Lift up a little bit. There's some little jars on here. Okay, you have to cover those over because you're trying to heal him. Okay. The Invisible Man, we're trying to find out where he is. So if you look at little places there. Okay.
Cool.
The creature from the Black Lagoon, if you notice the little map on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so what you'll do is a mechanism in there to where you go around the river trying to find him. You go round the lagoon. Okay.
Yeah.
And this one is really interesting because this is like Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. And what you've got these little dials that go on here. Okay, so what you're trying to do is every time you get you do something good, the way to beat them is you're trying to turn them. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to teach the monsters. Okay, so it says in Frankenstein space, use a yellow item. In the Bride space, use a blue item. And what you're trying to do is increase the monster's humanity by the item's strength. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're basically trying to get the Bride and Frankenstein. If they ever meet, then things happen. Okay, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically just get them where you're making them more human, so they can live in peace and live the rest of their lives out. And at the minute they can't, because obviously the monsters are a little bit wild. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
Okay, show the folks them. They are bigger than what I thought they were. I say, guys, opening the box for the first time here, and I actually thought that they were a lot smaller.
Cool.
Okay, so that's the creature from the Black Lagoon there. So again, anybody who fancies painting these, go for it. Okay, there's Frankie. Yep. There's Frankie's lady, the Bride of Frankenstein. Okay. Who have we got there? That's the Mummy.
The Mummy.
Yep. Okay. Dracul. At the Wolfman. So I'm presuming the last one is going to be the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd say
cool.
they paint up absolutely lovely. I've seen them painted, to be fair. Okay, and here we are with the rule book. It just says instructions, 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, 60 minutes. Okay, and it's actually got a nice little web address there for you to put in to actually watch a gameplay video by the company.
Cool.
Okay, so the art is pretty much the same there. So just opening it up there, so we've got our list of components, what's in the bag and what we're supposed to do with them. Set up, and it tells us how to play and the objectives that we're aiming for there. This looks really clearly laid out. Oh, there you go, the hero phase. Okay, so you can move, you can guide, you do your special action. Everybody has a special action.
Yeah.
You can pick up any items, you can share items if you're on the same space as each other. Advance, something to do with when you say if you're on Dracula's coffin.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can defeat a monster. It tells a little bit about villagers, pair cards. Now the villagers, they start somewhere and they've got a location on them, so you might have to get Renfield from the hospital to, say, the museum. And if you do that, you save him, but then you can actually get access to the perk deck then. So you randomly pull a card and they give you a one-off perk, like a superpower.
Cool.
So you're doing, obviously you want to try and save the villagers so that dial doesn't go up and you lose the game.
Yeah.
Okay, but you also want to do so it gives you more superpowers, more actions, more good stuff to do. Okay, and it goes over little things like the items there. Okay, the blue, red, and yellow items. Gives you a little example of a hero's moving phase, which is really nice. The monster phase. Okay, so it tells us how that works. What happens if you're hit by a monster? and the game's end. Okay, so it can end in one of three ways. So the heroes triumph. If you defeat all the monsters, the game ends and you win. Okay. Terror. Remember the level I showed you?
Yeah.
The numbers across the top. If the terror level reaches its maximum, indicated by the skull, the game immediately ends and the players have lost. Okay. Everyone, including the heroes, are too horrified to continue. You abandoned the village to monsters, so you say, I'm out of here. See you later. Your problem. Okay. And if you're out of time, okay, so if you draw a card from the monster deck, and so you can't draw a card because it's empty, the game ends. So straight away you're on a timer, and you know that kills analysis paralysis or quarterbacking. It kills any of that. You're going to be on a timer to get down and get this job done.
Yeah.
Get round, find a creature, find the invisible man, solve the case of the mummy, etc.
Cool.
Okay, and it just basically gives a little run over of the creature from the Black Lagoon and Dracula is rules, really. Okay, Frankenstein and his bride, the invisible man, and again, lovely colour examples all the way through. The mummy and the Wolfman. Okay, so there we go. So a lovely laid out little book there, and there's a little bit there for clarifications, which is basically just like your A to Z. You know, if you're not sure what a term reads, what it means, look it up there, and just blank on the back. So guys, that was Horrified. Is this a game you'd like to play?
Yeah, now we've unboxed it, can we play it later, please?
Of course we can. It's time we record and we are due a games night. So yes, we can put Horrified on the board. So anyway, guys, are you a fan of the Universal Monsters? There's got to be somebody out there as cracked as I am who loves all black and white films. All right, maybe not that many people. Okay, if you do, what's your favourite? Okay, are you a modern horror fan? I love like Michael Myers and Halloween, but I love the old ones more because that was where they come from. You know, like Lon Chaney, you know, or any of those, then it wouldn't have happened, would it? You know, really, to be fair. Yeah, is this something you fancy playing? Something you'd be interested in? Have you heard this before? I mentioned Pandemic. Do you like Pandemic? Would you play a game that's essentially skinned a pandemic skin? Okay. And would you agree with Melody? Should you just rip the whole game out and play it tonight? All right, guys, listen, that's the end of another one there. So if you're new here, and you like what you see, consider clicking that subscribe button. Have a look back because we've got quite a few board game unboxings. Over the course of the next couple of years, there will be actual gameplay videos because people do ask about that a lot. Okay, so like, share, more importantly, leave us a comment below. To all you returning guys who love our board game content, thank you as always. Melody?
Bye-bye for now.
See you later.